Okay, so welcome everyone. A warm welcome to Happy Hour, wherever in the world you are in this moment. Happy you're joining us for practicing together in community. I've been reflecting how making Happy Hour has been for me, sharing it with you. Whatever arises, regardless of that, just being together and practicing is a cause for joy. So the theme for today, for this practice in this hour, is continuing or perhaps concluding the exploration we've been doing together with exploring metta, loving kindness, warmth, care, love, kindness, goodwill, so many different ways to translate this beautiful word from Pali, metta, M-E-T-T-A, to English. So many different nuances for this feeling of the heart, for care, for friendliness, goodwill to ourselves and to others. So we've been exploring the relationship between metta, kindness, warmth, friendliness, and the 10 paramis, the 10 beautiful qualities of the heart that the Buddha teaches. We've been going through them, exploring the relationship between metta and these various qualities. For example, we did patience, we did virtue or non-harming rather, and the 10th parami, which is what we have arrived at for tonight, is the quality of equanimity. And tonight we'll be exploring in the guided practice and the guided meditation that I will lead, no experience whatsoever needed. We'll explore the relationship between cultivating the sense of care, warmth, appreciation, together, or one as the precursor of the other, metta and equanimity, this quality of expansiveness of the heart and mind. And I'll just say a couple of words about equanimity. You might be asking, what is equanimity anyway? It sounds so mighty, equanimity. The word in Pali is upekkha, and roughly translated from Pali is having an expansive view, having a wider perspective. And I usually like to relate to equanimity as if you had a bird's eye view on your life, on the world, all the happenings, all the causes and conditions. So feeling that in your body compared to having a small whole of a perspective on your life, on something that's happening, where we get so caught and so tight, so afraid. Instead, when we expand our perspective, the sense of spaciousness, the body, the mind, the heart can relaxing all the causes and conditions that have led to whatever is happening. And with that sense of perspective, as if you're sitting on the top of the mountain and watching what's going on, there's a sense of spaciousness. There can be a sense of equanimity in the midst of it all. So, and to say equanimity, sometimes people think that it is aloof, or it's cold, or it's distanced from what is happening. Not so, actually. We will explore tonight. It is related to metta. In fact, both equanimity, upekkha, and metta, kindness, are part of what are called the Brahma Viharas, the heavenly abodes, these 4 beautiful practices of the heart. They also belong to a different list, which is Brahma Viharas. heavenly abodes of the heart, as well as the paramitas. They both share, they're both on these lists. But what I wanted to say is that they are on the Brahma Viharas list together because they're related. And when we practice equanimity, we realize that actually the sense of aloofness and not caring, like, oh yeah, things are as they are, it's not true equanimity. It's a sense of lack of care. It's a disconnection. True equanimity has warmth, has a sense of care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't be holding witness. We wouldn't be staying with. We wouldn't be holding witness, and seeing all the causes and conditions and all that's arising. We wouldn't be staying with whatever is arising. So there's a sense of care, warmth, steadiness of the heart, sense of metta already in equanimity. And to say that also equanimity needs to be a part of metta. Because if there is no equanimity, if there is no steadiness in metta, then we can veer into attachment. We can veer into wanting, and we really, really want something. We really want the person to be happy or well. We want ourselves to be happy. There's a sense of tightness. A tightness arises around metta, whereas we cultivate this practice of friendliness without any attachment, with an expansiveness of the heart, which is part of equanimity. So I've said a lot of words. Let the words go. We'll just explore together now. So I'll invite you to let go of all the words and settling in your posture, choosing a posture that's comfortable for you, that you can sit comfortably for about 30 minutes or so in this guided practice. And if you need to lie down, if that's what your body needs right now, that's fine too. And just decide if your body needs actually to sit up a little straighter with more energy. Or if it needs to relax and soften some more. To be responsive and see what is needed right now. Softening and relaxing. Letting go, letting the breath breathe you for a few minutes. No need to do anything. Let there be a sense of ease, relaxation, softening, letting go of your entire body, the muscles. Relaxing, landing. Letting yourself be breathed. And with each in-breath and out-breath received in the abdomen, landing more fully, more deeply. Feeling your body, receiving the breath, each breath, a sense of spaciousness, landing with each breath. Being breathed one breath at a time, settling, arriving. Well, now I'd like to invite you, if you wish, bring to mind this sense of friendliness and goodwill that maybe a neighbor who doesn't know you very well, but maybe when they see you, they greet you and smile. Maybe when you go for a walk, you see someone who just looks up and smiles. Or going to the store or cashier. Just a sense of goodwill, a sense of goodwill that's available to you, offered to you by someone, by people you don't know very well. And conjure up, bring to mind a few examples, a few felt sense. When people smile, they're offering you their goodwill. And they're sharing the road. They're sharing the sidewalk. When they open the door for you, whatever it might be. Very simple, not complicated. Just tapping this sense of goodwill that's all around you. It's not, don't make it too complicated in your mind. Maybe it's the simple goodwill that you offer others. Simple goodwill of non-harming. Again, simple. Very simple. As you sit here, wherever you are sitting and breathing that, as if it were the fabric of the universe, this simple, subtle scent, perfume of goodwill wafting around, surrounding you, through you, offered to you, and you offering it to others. Just sitting and breathing it for a few minutes. You can imagine your friends and relatives too, if it supports you. Just keeping it simple, light touch. Let yourself feel as if you're breathing this in, breathing this out, this sense of goodwill. Don't get too intellectual about it, what that means. Just drop it in, try it out. Breathing in goodwill, breathing out goodwill, offered to you, you offering it to others. Imagining, considering that actually people who are sitting with you right now in this Zoom room, on YouTube, you offering them your goodwill, your support by being here, breathing your support, and them offering it to you, a sense of goodwill in this community, breathing in and out this goodwill. wishing goodness for all these beings while they wish you well in this moment. Receiving the goodness, breathing it in as it's offered to you. May you be safe, happy, healthy, and have ease. May all of us have safety, feel safe, be happy and joyful, be healthy and strong, and have ease in our lives. Breathing in, breathing out is goodness, offering it, taking it in. Now, with this easy, light touch of care, goodwill for yourself and offered to others, you can continue with this if you like, or if you wish. I'd like to invite you to bring to mind maybe something from earlier in the day, or if you're in an Asian time zone right now, maybe something from yesterday that happened, just some event from your life. And as if you were watching a movie of your life, you're sitting in this comfortable, spacious movie theater with a sense of goodwill, receiving and sharing goodwill in your body, in your bones, surrounded, held with goodwill, going through you, offered through you, washing through you. The sense of goodwill as you're breathing it, offering it, receiving it. So don't lose touch with that. And watching in this theater, this comfortable theater, watching a scene from something on your life, about your life on the screen, with a sense of care, goodwill, but not too caught in it. A sense of expansiveness, your body relaxed. You're seeing yourself and other people. And so there's care for you, there's care for others, there's a sense of goodwill. It doesn't have to be a charged moment, it's just something that happened. Maybe you're on some Zoom meeting earlier today or yesterday. Just imagining a scene, anything would do for this example. Just watching it from this perspective of care. Goodwill for yourself, goodwill for others. An expansive perspective. And see what it feels like while you experiment. Don't lose touch with your body, with the breath, with the sense of goodwill. And if you find yourself getting entangled in the story, let go of the image. Turn off the movie for a moment. Just as you're sitting in this movie theater, settle in your body again, receiving, sharing goodwill with the community around you. Receiving, feeling held in goodwill. Sharing your own goodwill. When it feels like you're more stable, embodied, grounded in goodwill and in your body. And you can bring up another scene, perhaps, just a simple scene. A sense of goodwill for yourself and others, watching this scene, yourself and others interacting. A sense of spaciousness, not being caught, with goodwill. A sense of care, watching this movie, and yet the spaciousness, not being caught in it. And support feeling into the practice of equanimity, which has a sense of care, present, but isn't caught. Holds with spaciousness the arisings and passings of your life and of others, the events. Again, there is care as you feel it, there's goodwill, there's connection. Lack of being caught or tight around it. as if you're seated, comfortably seated in your chair, in your seat, not toppling over into the scene, but also caring for the protagonists. Feel free to experiment and adjust and feel the connection between equanimity, the spaciousness, and metta, goodwill, for all the participants, all the protagonists. They're not separate from each other. If watching the movie with all the protagonists, let yourself have a sense of goodwill, appreciation. Care for all the causes and conditions that have brought these various beings, these people to this moment, interacting in this way. So many causes and conditions. Historical, genetic, upbringing, educational, their own perspectives, and just holding this all, the sense of spaciousness and awe, appreciation, and goodwill. Maybe even appreciating all the suffering of all the people in their entanglements, yours included, in their reactivity, yours included, without getting caught in it. In this moment. And for the last moment of this practice period, holding yourself with kindness and goodwill. Appreciation for having shown up and practiced without attachment to outcome, without attachment to outcome. As if this practice you were watching now on the movie screen, whether you fell asleep, whether your mind wandered, just having a sense of goodwill, having a sense of goodwill for this being that is you, who tried. Oh, look, oh, this protagonist, mind wandering, falling asleep, or whatever it was. A sense of goodwill without being caught in the story. Allowing for what was, just as it was, just as it arose. Thank you all. I'd like to invite you, if there are any reflections you'd like to share from exploring the relationship between metta and equanimity in this way. We first established ourselves the sense of goodwill, the sense of metta, very light, receiving and giving metta, receiving and giving metta. Just a sense of goodwill, just a sense of goodwill, and then watching the movie of our lives, a moment of it, something that happened on the screen, with a sense of spaciousness to bring up, to really connect in a physical way with a sense of equanimity. And I'll share something from my own practice tonight, which I really enjoyed. I was in a Zoom meeting earlier today with lots of individuals and opinions and discussions, and that came up for me to see in the movie of my life, and having care, having goodwill for every participant, for myself included, with my ideas and different ideas from other people, just a goodwill for everyone, sense of, oh, look at all these beings doing their best. So a sense of equanimity, not being caught in it, but sense of goodwill, sharing that. So for me, that was quite actually lovely to experience today with this emphasis on the metta perspective. So you're welcome to unmute yourself and share any reflections or questions that you have, or type it in chat. Go. Also, your reflection might just be one word or a phrase, something that's coming up for you. You're welcome to put that in chat. Thank you, Bill. Feeling love balanced by perspective. Balance. Beautiful. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. Yeah. It's really, metta and equanimity. They're really both parts of each other. They are inseparable, completely inseparable. And it's just as you described, feeling love balanced by perspective, a bigger perspective. Thank you for that. Other reflections, what's coming up for you? What came up for you? Anything?
So equanimity felt lighter than metta. I'm not quite sure if that's the right word. I mean, it didn't feel as entangled, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's great, actually, because that's how metta needs to feel. So your metta probably needs more equanimity to balance it so that it doesn't feel so entangled. And of course, with the practice of metta, entanglements will come up. will be purified. The mind and the heart will work through them. But when metta feels pure, it does feel unentangled. It's just offered freely. So I'm really appreciating that you observed that, Neil. That difference is really important to remember how that felt. Love without entanglement, or care without entanglement. Yeah, thank you.
So I've heard an analogy. Metta is like the first time you hold the new puppy. You feel all the, all the emotions. And then the puppy starts playing and you're delighted at how much fun the puppy is. So your delight is participatory joy. And the puppy hurts a paw and then squeaks. And you feel the pain and you want to help, so you go help. So that's compassion. And then you give the puppy as much food as is healthy for him to have at that time, but he's all mournful and wants more and he's sad. And you care, but there's nothing to do about it. So that's, in this analogy, that's equanimity. So what do you think of that analogy?
Yeah, it's a fun analogy. And in terms of equanimity, there are lots of different ways to relate to equanimity. And in a given limited time, equanimity sometimes is related to, can be related to as, yes, when suffering is so great that compassion really becomes equanimity, the spaciousness with care and love holding it, but not much can be done. That's one way to relate to it. But also there are many other ways to relate to it, as well as actually seeing that equanimity needs to be present in every moment of metta, as well as the vicarious joy, mudita. There needs to be equanimity. And also with compassion, there needs to be, in every moment, there needs to be equanimity. Otherwise, one will get into empathic distress. So equanimity is part of all of these and has this stabilizing, caring, and that all of those are also part of equanimity, this bigger picture. So yeah, lovely analogy, and it's part of the bigger picture.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Erica offers, I don't usually think of causes and conditions in relation to spaciousness. And I think something shifted when to the vastness, interconnectedness of everything. Oh, when you felt the vast interconnectedness of everything. Oh, that's lovely. So the collection, the typo. So something shifted when you felt the vast interconnectedness of everything. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Erica. That sounds quite profound. A shift in perspective. Beautiful. If you'd like to add anything, you're welcome to. And if anybody else likes to add something, we'll take one more beat, one more pause.
I thought it seems like bringing an emphasis to equanimity made the metta feel more sustainable. It's like it gives it a kind of momentum that's it starts to seem like something, oh, I don't have to try to do this. This is just here, and it's about noticing it more than doing it in a sense. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it makes sense. Thank you, Lori. That's great. Yeah, the sense of effortlessness that comes into metta when there's equanimity, when there's no entanglement. It frees up energy, and it's like, oh, it's already here. I don't have to do it. It's just I have to realize it, feel into it. Oh yeah, goodwill. It's here, available, beautiful. Thanks so much for sharing that, and experiencing that, so that you can that experience can be moved forward. It's yours now. It's opened a different perspective, a different door, a different way of relating to metta. That's lovely. Thank you all. So let's switch to our practice in community, in small groups. So tonight's invitation is to be versed, to be stable in your goodwill for yourself, very mildly. You don't have to produce it, right? Just as Lori was observing, just a sense of goodwill for yourself and for others, and a sense of equanimity, or spaciousness, as if this was the movie of your life that you're watching for the next 6 minutes in these groups. Like, there's care for you as a protagonist, there's care for these beings, and there's no attachment to what you're going to say or what they're going to say or sounding smart or dumb. Or just like, oh yeah, there's a sense of spaciousness, like, appreciating goodwill for all the causes and conditions. And this can be profound. So check it out. Just play in the sandbox and see what it feels like. Maybe you can take this in your daily life. So I'm going to create the Zoom rooms. And if you're curious, please stay and try it out. Oh, and the prompt is, what did you discover in the relationship between metta and equanimity? And anything you say is fine. You can say, I fell asleep, I didn't like it, I didn't find anything. Perfectly fine. There's no right or wrong answer. Not so much what you say, but how you show up. So, and if it's not tonight, breakout rooms or this in this moment are not right for you, it's okay. You can bow out. So I'm going to create the breakout rooms now. And okay. The rooms are now closed and we are all back. So welcome back. I would love to hear some reflections either about your practice and community or from the first part of practice. You have a couple minutes, so don't be shy. Please share your group wisdom.
I'll go. I did not get a lot from the sit. I was very distracted and feeling guilty about that. And I think for the first time, just hearing somebody else's really honest experience of when they were really present in the practice, I felt like I did the practice. I felt like I was totally attentive for the entire thing. And I was feeling bad because, as people were sharing, I was like, oh, that would have been a great one had I actually been present for it. But then I got it from somebody else. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks so much for sharing that, Ariana. That makes me so happy. What a beautiful feeling of osmosis, right? From the group. That's profound. What you just experienced. Really profound. Thank you for speaking up. Yeah, very profound. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you. Yes, please. Somebody on the phone. I just unmuted you.
Hi, Nikki and group. This is Michael. And
Hi, Michael.
I'm just so grateful for you weaving in the other Brahmavihara equanimity. And I just came from one house to another house. And so yesterday and the previous 10 days, I was at the beach in Santa Cruz, and now I'm back in Palo Alto. And usually I feel heavy and just not very peaceful, but today I felt a lot more full of equanimity and allowing and being grateful and enjoying the garden here as much as I enjoyed the garden there, and just really, finding the joy. And also in your theme of equanimity, I usually do my own thing during the guided meditation, but remaining open and spacious and allowing, I followed your sweet guidance, and it was joyful. And then during our group share, I had mudita for someone else, and it was just very heartwarming. So deep bows to you all, and deep bows to you, Nikki, for your sweet teachings.
Thank you, Michael. It's lovely to hear from you and have you join us this evening and share your experience with metta and equanimity and vicarious joy for someone else in the group. Yeah, what a sweet, lovely note to end our practice on together this evening, morning, late night, whatever your time zone is right now that you're joining us. Just so heartwarming to have all of you join us in practice. May you enjoy the fruits of your practice, and may it be shared with all beings everywhere. Equanimity and metta. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy, including us.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Lovely to be with you. Take care. Bye.